Going through the crowds at Adelaide is just the most insane feeling. It's such an adrenaline rush and a massive buzz, and just hearing everyone cheering and supporting everyone, it's seriously one of the best feelings ever.
Three-day eventing is often described as the triathlon of horse sports.
So much work goes into coming to this event. This is the pinnacle of our sport in Australia.
The three phases of the dressage, cross-country and show jumping designed to test skill, strength and stamina.
Adelaide's the 4 stars, Adelaide's definitely the jewel in the crown.
The second round of the FEI Classic Series moves to Adelaide, the food and wine capital of Australia.
I love the event, the atmosphere is great.
The cross-country course here, one of the most unique in the world.
It's very twisty and lots of trees, so about going fast is really difficult.
For the first time, the Equestrian Grand Final comes to Adelaide, providing an opportunity for those with an eye on Rio.
It's a sport of interest, so you have to be right on your game.
Action is guaranteed.
Well, I don't believe it. An enormous round of applause.
This is the Australian International 3-day event. Hello and welcome to Adelaide, the only FEI Classics Series event in the Southern Hemisphere. Well, welcome to the Pride's Easy Feed Dressage Day. I'm Spencer Sturmy. I'm joined by former Olympic double gold medalist and the event director, Gillian Rolton.
Thanks, Spencer. It's great to be here. What a fantastic event this year. We have so many good competitors from around Australia, around the world. Here we have Christine Bates on her lovely Adelaide Hill, the horse showing a lot of good qualities of suppleness, of power from behind, and some great steps here in this medium trot across the diagonal.
Yeah, showing a lot of exuberance, and what the judges are looking for are 3 judges in the 4-star dressage: Shandy Phillips from Great Britain, Wayne Quarles from the United States of America, and also Martin Plever from Germany. This now Katja Weimann, Katja with BP Flamboyant. It's a lovely stamp of a horse, Jill.
Yes, flamboyant by name and flamboyant by nature. This is a homebred horse, and Katja's done a great job bringing this horse on right from the start. He's very free through the shoulder and picked up some very good marks from the judges along the way.
Yeah, he was lying second after dressage 49.1, but this the standout performance after the 4-star dressage. Shane Rose with CP qualified, and this a combination that really wowed the 3 judges.
Yes, he's a warm blood horse. This is bred to do dressage, he's bred to show jump, and lovely change there. Very expressive, straight and through from Shane.
Well, a great halt to finish his test, and he finished on 42.1, 7 marks ahead of Katja Weimann and BP Flamboyant. That leaderboard after the dressage: Shane Rose, CP qualified, 42.1, Katja Weimann, BP Flamboyant, 49.1, and Christine Bates, Adelaide Hill, on 49.4 in third. But it was all about Qantas Cross Country Day, and we had some amazing contenders from all around the world. Last year's winner from the 4-star, Jess Manson and Legal Star, they were back to contend their title.
And Olympic medalists Shane Rose and Stuart Tinney out to impress the selectors.
Megan Jones, Kirby Park, all of a sudden second here last year. 2 overseas competitors in for a chance: Clark Johnson and Balmoral Sensation, and Alice Dunstan, all the way from the UK, Fern Hill present.
I had a dream about 3 years ago to try and be the first horse and rider combination to complete all 6 4-stars. This is why I'm here.
Personally love this venue. I mean, being in amongst the city, and quite a windy course with all the trees and ups and downs and crossing roads, and so yeah, it's a great venue, and love coming back every year.
Preparation for this goes on for months and months and months, so it's a great feeling if you can come out the other side winning it, that's for sure.
Adelaide's always an important event, but with Rio next year, most of the top Australian riders that are here, that is their focus, because we want to get a really good result here so that next year we can give the horses a less frantic preparation and just not be worried about qualification, just worrying about keeping them fit, sound and well to hopefully go and win Australia some medals.
No one's ever gone back-to-back before, but I think we're certainly going to give it a go.
So the first we see on the Qantas Cross Country Day is Stuart Tinney, Pluto Mio in the Bates start box. Away they go to the Adelaide City Council flowerbed at 1, getting into their rhythm. Oh, not the nicest of starts for Stuart Tinney and Pluto Mio as we now have a look at the 2015 course. They set out over 3 or 4 straightforward fences. First the combination fences coming at 4A and B, not dissimilar to the 2014 track, and then it's on to the really big corner 5B. Before this first new combination, it's the New Holland tractor fence 6A, B and C.
11 minutes on the cross country. It's a very long track, winding its way through all of our 3 major parks on the east side of Adelaide.
Well, crossing over Bartels Road, they come to the Brand SA fence before they drop down into the water for the first time. Then it's up to the Rose Gardens, a beautiful part of the course, Jill.
It certainly is. This Rymel Park part of the course is stunning. It's like an English country garden. We have water, we have ditches, we have corners, we have the Rose Garden, and then we come back through the water again through the FEI Classics fence, over the Coopers crossing, and then back into Victoria Park again.
Well, just a few jumping efforts left to go before the last real question at the penultimate. Then it's the Qantas Welcome Home Horseshoe. So we pick up Stuart Tinney and Pluto Mio coming to the Horseland crossing. It's the brush, 1 stride to the ditch and 1 stride to the narrow brush on the exit. Beautifully done.
And here we have Will Enzinger and Wenlock Aquifer. This is an off-the-track horse. He's had some racing, this horse. In fact, his last win was on this particular racetrack back in the days when Victoria Park was a racetrack.
Well, he won the 3-star CIC at Lakes and Craters, as down to the SATC water for the first time is Stuart Tinney and Pluto Mio. Nothing to jump on the return exit, just the RM Williams curved brush, little bit of bullfinch on the top, just hidden by a parasol there. And up to the Forestry South Australia Commission combination. Right up at the far end of the course in the Rose Garden, it's 2 left-handed corners with 3 strides in between. Goes on too, and really taking a chance, Jill, there.
Oh, he's certainly trying to make up time, and so took a stride out.
Hard to get the time here as it is sort of going in between the trees and stuff, but no, I was very pleased with him, and he jumped great, and it was a great atmosphere.
10 seconds.
And here we have Shane Rose on his wonderful CP qualified, leading after the dressage and hoping for a really good run here.
Just about to leave the Bates start box and on to this 6,270 metre course. Optimal time of 11 minutes, and this owned by the Wisher family. What is he doing going to the first? Having a really good look at the first. Well, we pick up Shane and CP qualified at this New Holland tractor combination and a very narrow triple breast coming out, Jill.
Yes, he really nailed that. He kept him very straight. And here now we have Shane coming down the hill over that big vertical log fence and then coming into the Horseland Hollows. Very well over the angled brush and ditch and brush. He's really having to work hard to make this horse gain the ground and be as fast as he possibly can.
Well, second place last year. This is Megan Jones, Kirby Park all of a sudden, known as his stablemates as Floyd. They leave the Bates start box and on to the Adelaide City Council flowerbed at 1.
Yes, he's a thoroughbred, this horse, and he should be quite fast. And here's Beijing silver medalist Sonia Johnson on her off-the-track thoroughbred, Parky Arup Illicit Liaison.
I started off thinking, all I really want is a qualification, and then he galloped out of the start box and galloped to the first one, and I thought, damn it, this is for fun, let's go. And so I just put my foot down and off we went. It was the best fun.
How good is this scenery, Spencer? The beautiful jacarandas are out, and here we have CP qualified coming down through the water, the FEI water, through the brush and out and galloping on, not wasting any time through there.
Yeah, really is spectacular. We now see Megan Jones, Kirby Park all of a sudden at the SATC houses going into the first water. They cross back over the island into the water again. It's the RM Williams curved brush. There we see the Bullfinch. Great shots there. Shane Rose and CP qualified, clear of the Qantas Welcome Home Horseshoe, and crosses the line. An incredible venue here in Adelaide, so close to the city centre.
Adelaide's a really beautiful city. It's always so clean and the people here are really friendly and lovely. Shops and everything like that are great for shopping.
Quality of food and wine in Adelaide's amazing. The wine, amazing. Come here and just, every restaurant you go to, nice food, you can have a great bottle of wine.
What I do love is the architecture. I love the buildings around here. Adelaide's done such a good job of keeping its old buildings, which we certainly haven't back in the west.
I love being here. We've been down to the beach at Glenelg. It's so beautiful. The beaches are amazing. We don't have really anything like it back home in England. So I think I'll definitely be coming back here on holiday without the horse, and then I might be able to relax a bit more. But it's a beautiful city. Yeah, I love it here.
Well, one of the highlights of the international horse trials here was the Tomich Wines Polo in the Park, bringing together everything that is horse sports.
It's fast, it's fun, it's Pride's Easy Feeds versus Tomich Wines.
Well, victorious this year were the Pride's Easy Feed team, but it was all about the people coming and enjoying what was horse sports in the park.
5, 4, 3.
Jessica
2,
Manson now, Jess, with Legal Star, last year's winners, just about to leave the Bates start box on Qantas Cross Country Day. Up at the Forestry SA, big bar table onto the two left-handed corners, beautifully done.
I hadn't had quite the same lead up as I'd had last year, so I knew it was going to be a little bit of a challenge, but yeah, so as close to time and obviously clear as possible.
Megan Jones, Kirby Park, all of a sudden coming to the FEI Classics, Beach Hut Duck. And now the second of the ducks, he's really not giving her an easy ride.
And look at the crowds out there in force. Here's Megan galloping through the last fence, the welcome home from Qantas, and through the finish flag. She'll be very happy that she's home.
Back to Sonia Johnson up at the Atco Stag Corner. This is a new fence this year, designed by Mike Etherington Smith, of course, this year, taken over from Wayne Copping, who designed for 8 years. But Mike, no stranger to the Adelaide 4-star. He designed here a few years ago. Sonia Johnson at the Channel 7 logo corner. Very big corner. And then down to the FEI Classics Water.
And a perfect day for cross country. Great weather and huge crowds, record crowds this year at the event.
Well, next we see in the Bates start box on Qantas Cross Country Day, Katja Weimann, Katja riding BP Flamboyant, had a great dressage, lying in second place after the dressage. They're on to the Adelaide City Council first. Well, now we see Sonny Jackson with gold through the Brand SA keyhole down to the South Australian Tourism Commission houses, 2 roll tops just dropping down into the water. Gold, I believe, in his last 4-star here in Adelaide. Katja Weimann, BP Flamboyant, up at the Atco Stag Corner combination. It's just 2 very narrow stumps with 2 strides in between. And away they go to the Bates Triple Arrowhead Brush.
As we see Legal Star now and Jess Manson coming into the last fence, the Qantas welcome home, the one they all want to see and get through those finish flags. Well, unfortunately, a minute over time. She was missing a couple of gallops in her lead-up, and she's not going to be up there with the leaders now.
Katja Weimann, BP Flamboyant, down to the FEI Classics Water, in front of the huge crowds, the VIP area, and look at the spectators all around the water, the jacaranda trees out in full bloom, as well as we watch now the slow-mo action of BP Flamboyant. Great brush on the top, just managing to slide through the top.
Well, he didn't actually make a mistake the whole way around, so for a horse to not make a mistake around the 4-star is a pretty good job, so I was very pleased with him.
Catch of Iman, BP Flamboyant coming to the Qantas Welcome Home Horseshoe. Great job, 28 seconds over the time though. Quite a twisty course, means she'll drop down into 6th place after cross country. Well, now we have great headshots from the onboard camera. Seamus Marwood it is next to go. Just about to go into that Bates start box with Wild Oats. They were here last year. And on to the first fence. And we'll see Seamus Marwood and Wild Oats ears pricked as they get into their rhythm. This is great shots, Jill.
Oh, I love the onboard cameras. You can really get a feel from the bird's eye view of what things are looking at, and you can see just how narrow that fence is from up there. So he had what looked like a run out there.
That was an option, by the way.
And bypassed that fence, jumped the alternative, and now he's back on track again.
Well, stay with us for more action on Qantas Cross Country Day here at the Australian International 3-day event.
This event here in Adelaide means a great deal to me. It's definitely the toughest event that I get to do all year, and it really shows how much of my training has been put to good use. I really enjoy it. It's great facilities and the grounds look amazing every year, and it's just, yeah, it's definitely my favourite.
What I love about Adelaide, number one, is the beaches. You know, it's got this amazing coastline, and wherever you live in Adelaide, you're not too far from the beach. They have a really, really vibrant nightlife here. It's easy to get to. Kangaroo Island is probably one of the most amazing tourist destinations in the world. You can go there and spend 3 or 4 days and see so many different things in that short time. So there's so much to be said for Adelaide and surrounds here. It's a great place to visit.
Well, welcome back, and we now see the onboard shots from Seamus Marwood and Wild Oats as they come down to the Horseland combination. Brush, one stride, ditch, one stride and brush, and just chipping in an extra stride, and down goes poor Seamus Marwood. Good to see him up on his feet so quickly. Really disappointing though, Jill.
Absolutely. There's nothing worse than knowing that you're going to hit the turf, and I think when the horse chipped in, he would have known that that was what was going to happen.
Well, we just see the great camera angles and the shots from not only from Seamus but also the camera on the fence. He did well to stay there for as long as he did, but it is elimination under FEI rules for poor Seamus Marwood and Wild Oats. Good to see them walking away safe and sound. Well, next to go, it's Michaela Martindale. Michaela with Kinordi Gatto leaving the Bates start box on Qantas Cross Country Day. They go to the Adelaide City Council flowerbed at 1. Christine Bates and this lovely chestnut horse, Adelaide Hill, down to the Horseland. Brush, one stride, ditch, and the brush. Well, he made that look quite difficult indeed. Well, galloping through the parklands, and oh, what's happened there, Jill?
Well, I think that's one of the irrigators that's just been trodden on, and so a bit of a flood happening now as we see Christine Bates and Adelaide Hill coming into the Channel 7 logo, jumping over that big fence and on down to this beautiful water fence. The FEI water ducks and out over the next duck and galloping on her way back towards the finish area.
Well, you can see their shots of that irrigation system that Christine Bates and Adelaide Hill just clipped on their way, and I don't believe it. Christine now on the floor.
Look, you know, it's a tough sport, and, you know, I probably was having the round of my life out there, and the horse was going the best he's gone, and a little bit of misfortune, you know. Like when he touched the fence, it was only very lightly, but it must have just been the exact point that you didn't need it to touch. So, yeah, it was unfortunate.
Well, here we have Alice Dunstan from the United Kingdom with her mother, Sarah, and her own Fernhill present, getting a lot of pats as they leave the Bates start box. Alice Dunstan, Fernhill present, up at the Forestry, South Australia. Big table to the corners.
And isn't he a great jumper? What an honest fellow. And Alice is loving it out there. As we go back to Michaela Martindale now, this is a really exciting combination. Lovely horse, great jumper, young rider. This is her first 4-star, and she's doing a super job out there.
Clark Johnson, Balmoral Sensation, one of the 2 riders over from New Zealand, made the trip over from New Zealand. Alice Dunstan with Fernhill present. Looks like they may have turned left instead of right.
The main goal here is to complete and finish with a fit, sound, healthy horse. He felt amazing cross country and he jumped all the jumps so well. I'm annoyed with myself that I went the wrong side of the ropes at one point, so got some time penalties. But considering everything, I was just chuffed to bits that he went clear.
Clark Johnson, Balmoral Sensation, coming down to the Horseland Hollow. Setting up for the first of the brushes. It's a 1-stride combination, 1 stride to the ditch and 1 stride to the narrow brush on the exit, making that look very easy.
As we see Alice Dunstan coming down to the very last fence, the Qantas Welcome Home.
Well, coming in to complete what will soon be her 5th 4-star completion out of the 6 in the world. Shane Rose, 2nd ride, this time with Virgil. Lovely bay horse with a lot of talent. First 4-star as Clark Johnson, Balmoral Sensation down to the FEI Classics water.
And doesn't this horse just love his job? His ears are pricked and he's such a great jumper. Beautiful pictures through there.
Really enjoying his job, and you can just see the look on this horse's face. He really does enjoy it. Looking for the next fence, Clark. And Balmoral Sensation skipping over the track on the way to the Qantas Welcome Home. The horseshoe final fence.
I was happy with my time on the course, and puts me in a competitive place for the show jumping tomorrow. Hopefully jump a clear round and put some pressure on Shane Rose.
Shane and Virgil coming down to the FEI Classics water.
Very exciting horse this. It's by the show jump stallion Vivant. Shane gives this horse lots of confidence all the way around the track. He's such a positive jockey.
Well, here we see Shane Rose and Virgil coming to the CMI Toyota Hollow. CMI, the official vehicle suppliers for the Adelaide 4-star. Lovely, confident line through and kicking on towards home. Onto the Qantas Welcome Home horseshoe. Shane Rose and Virgil. Well, what a round this has been. Clear jumping and inside the time. So that means he will finish in the top 2.
He's a great galloper. His mother's a thoroughbred, which gives him the ability to make up time if I need to, and he was great. He's a super jumping horse, and he's got a great attitude and really wants to please, so got 2 nice horses.
Andrew Cooper, we have now up at the Forestry SA combination. Black Crest, really exciting rider this, Jill.
He is. He's a young rider. He's not been in the sport for that long, but he's got so much talent.
Yes, a really exciting rider, and he checks his watch as he jumps the Qantas Welcome Home. 6 seconds inside the time, he joins Shane Rose, the only other one inside the time. Well, it is Shane Rose 1-2 in the CCI 4-star, CP qualified, and Virgil top the leaderboard with New Zealander Clark Johnson, Balmoral Sensation in 3rd. Well, the care and attention these horses receive and deserve after the cross-country is second to none. The demystifiers there, and they get watered down, looked after by grooms and riders alike. Well, a lot of these riders in this Olympic year trying to emulate that of former gold medalists of the past.
To be out there representing your country at the biggest sporting event in the world, the Olympic Games, is just amazing. I've been very fortunate to be part of 2 Olympic teams and win 2 gold medals. The first one at Barcelona, it was such a struggle to get there. We mortgaged everything to give ourselves the best chance, but we took the risk and we got there in the end. And it was just fantastic to be a part of such a great team. It was just an amazing feeling at Barcelona.
To win that gold medal at Nantes was extremely special. Standing on the podium was a kind of like a moment in time that's sort of quite magical. You're almost thinking back of the 10 years that I've been with Sunburst to sort of get me there. To be part of that big Australian Olympic team. I remember the flag raising ceremony and obviously the opening ceremony, but just things that made the hair stand up in the back of your neck. It was, a really, really exciting time.
Without doubt, I've been really fortunate in the fact that I've had success at 3 Olympic Games to win 3 team gold medals. The one that was the most significant for me was definitely the one in Sydney. It is really special to do it in front of your home crowd. So many athletes are from around the world. Many of them still consider that to be the greatest Olympics that they went to.
Winning a gold medal in your home country is just an unbelievable feeling because everybody there is sort of supporting and it's just an incredible feeling. It's wonderful having a gold medal, but I feel I still want to try to win another one. So whether that's greedy or not, I don't know, but I definitely want to try to win some more, and it's a definitely wonderful feeling. Very proud.
Well, one of the really exciting additions to this year's Australian International 3-day event was the Equestrian Grand Final, featuring Australia's top riders in jumping, dressage and eventing. The Gowgates exhibition eventing is fast, fun and exciting, and tests the skill of both horse and rider by requiring combinations to navigate cross-country fences and show jumps. Megan Jones was victorious over in Rydal Park, winning with Kirby Park in press.
The Equestrian Grand Prix is a very important part of the EFA. We all get together and you've got all the disciplines, Olympic disciplines here, which is great. So it's a good feeling. You've got a lot of history down here in Adelaide with the 4-star and with the World Cup down here now through IRT. It's great to have Australian sponsors.
It's a sport of inches, so you have to be right on your game. I think from the point of view of having that sort of atmosphere for us as Australian-based riders is quite important. Obviously overseas and in Europe and North America, it's part and parcel of the sport, so that hopefully you can give your best performance when you get to the arena.
Well, welcome to the ATCO main arena for the IRT jumping final. And the first we see is Chris Chugg. Chris riding Crystalline. Had very good form this year. 3rd in the Melbourne Royal World Cup earlier this year, culminating with the 4th at the World Cup in Gawler back in September.
And Chuggy is one of our best show jumping riders. At the moment, he's absolutely on form, and this horse is really trying its heart out. It's got a fabulous back end over a fence, and Chuggy has, of course, represented Australia 5 times as the senior show jumping champion of Australia, and also the WEG Kentucky in 2010. He was 7th on a horse called Vivant. And here we have him on his 2nd horse, Casiago. Again, super jumping horse and one that has very good form this year.
Yeah, they've won at Gawler, Adelaide's here, and 2nd at Gatton. This Holsteiner stallion by Cassini, imported from Germany as a 3-year-old, and standing at stud this season as well, so a very busy horse. Well, 2 great rounds in the bag there for Chris Chugg. I'm sure he'll be featuring in the prizes. As we see now, Merrick Eubank.
And Alantinus, this is quite a young horse on the circuit, but Merrick is doing a very, very good job with it. He's really looking for a top performance here in Adelaide at our Equestrian Grand Final.
Well, what a showcase to have here in the ATCO main arena, Jill. This really is showcasing some of the up-and-coming Olympic stars of the future. These young horses making John Valence's track look very easy indeed, and I assure you it's 1.60 metres. It's a big course out there. Well, just coming down to the final 2 fences now. Merrick Eubank. And galloping to the last, and that's an enormous viaduct wall. Well, he's the only one that's jumped at double clear over the last 2 days and does secure the win in the IRT show jumping grand final. Great win for the young Merrick Eubank, being congratulated by owners and connections. And just coming into shot is Chris Chugg congratulating our winner. So the top three, it's Merrick Eubank and Alan Tinas, the only double clear. Second, Chris Chugg and Ciro Casiago. And third, Chris Chugg, Chris Deline.
Yeah, it was a great class. We expected a tough class. Merrick's a great rider. He's comes from Queensland, so he's travelled further than anyone to come down. So I was very happy for him to win. Looking forward to going to Europe in February to represent Australia in the World Cup final, and that's what this was all about. So great weekend.
A lot of people have sort of been helping me a lot lately, and it's all starting to come together really good.
Well, running alongside the Adelaide CCI 4-star was the Horseland CCI 2-star.
And this class is all about the upcoming horses and riders for the future, horses that we think will be there in Tokyo in 2020.
Well, victorious in the Horseland CCI 2-star was Amanda Ross with Fraser and Chrissy Brown's 6-year-old gelding, Dick Cavalli Diesel. They conquered all three phases to come out on top. Well, join us after the break for the concluding part of the Australian International 3-day event for the 4-star show jumping. Well, welcome back to the final part of the Australian International 3-day event. The crowds arrived early for what was the final horse inspection. The ground jury members, Sandy Phillips, Wayne Quarles and Martin Plever, saw the horses looking bright and full of spirits after yesterday's cross-country. Virgil lying in second place with Shane Rose. These horses really looking fit and well after the vigours of the cross-country, Jill.
They looked fantastic, so well presented. The grooms must have worked very hard to get Balmoral Sensation looking sparkling white.
Number 97, Punt.
Well, the first we see in the show jumping is Shane Rose, going out of order with Virgil, lying in second place. And if he could jump a clear round, he would really put the pressure on himself.
And this is a lovely jumping horse. It's by a show jumping stallion in Vivant, and it gave everything heaps. Fantastic round here for Shane, giving the horse every chance, balancing him for the fences over that big triple bar, balancing to come back to the vertical, the South Australia vertical.
Well, rounding the corner, they come to a fairly testing double. This course designed by John Vallance, who designed not only the show jumping for the Horseland CCI 2-star and the Adelaide CCI 4-star, but also the jumping for the IRT Grand Prix. Virgil still clear with Shane Rose, just fighting a bit on the turns, quite keen to get on with his job. And now the influential line that has proved very costly for a number of riders. The water tray on a related distance down to the treble. 2 short strides to a forward one. And now the last fence, still clear, Shane Rose. He's definitely going to put the pressure on himself. And a fantastic clear round, inside the time allowed of 95 seconds. And he looks delighted. Getting a huge pat and sell-out crowds here, Jill, on the final day.
And here we come with Michaela Martindale and Kinordi Gatto. Very exciting young partnership, jumping absolutely beautifully over that big Oxa water tray, balancing for the treble. The 2 shortish strides, lots of scope over the Oxa, nicely over the vertical and balancing for the final fence. And a fabulous jump over the Oxer, and she's so happy with that. She's climbed so many places from the dressage, and she's right up there with the best of the best that Australia has to offer.
Well, here we have Megan Jones, Kirby Park, all of a sudden. Already an early fence down, the green and white viaduct and the ATCO plank and upright. Well, that has been a very influential fence as they come to the final treble. 3 fences down, quite unusual for Kirby Park all of a sudden. Usually very good in the show jumping, and looks like she's going to be over the time allowed as well. 3 fences down it is, and 4 time penalties, total of 16 there for Kirby Park all of a sudden, and Megan Jones.
And now Sonia Johnson on her little thoroughbred horse, Parky Arup Illicit Liaison. She was 15th after the dressage, but climbed up to 4th after cross country. And this is a real little jumping machine. Keeping his toes off the first of the treble, nice scope out over the Oxer and onto the 7 vertical, and now the final fence all clear until now. Super jump over the final fence, and she's holding her 4th position. Great round to Sonia, and she's so happy with the little horse.
Well, next we see Clark Johnson from New Zealand, Balmoral Sensation. This owned by Rob, Jean and Shona Johnson. 5th after dressage, clear inside the time. In fact, 4 time penalties from the cross country. So did add to his dressage of 50.1. Only 2 inside the time on yesterday's cross country. And showing a lot of scope in John Valence's show jumping course so far.
And this is showing just a lot of scope, a lot of balance, and the horse is so careful. It's a real little jumping machine, and Clark is giving the horse every opportunity to keep his toes off these fences.
By Senator VDL, New Zealand sport horse. Just 11 years of age.
And Clark gives this horse a lot of time. He gives the horse every opportunity. Coming into the last fence, cutting inside those flower pots to try and keep his time as close to the optimum as possible. Lovely round, which gave him the ATCO Show Jumpers prize and really put the pressure on to CP Qualified and Shane.
Well, it is Shane Rose, last to go, CP Qualified, owned by the Wisher family, Felicity and Elizabeth Wisher. And he starts on a 2-face score of 45.3. Well, he can afford 1 fence down to stay ahead of himself, but no more. This 12-year-old grey by Quite Capital. And already, Jill, he's put in 2 perfect performances in the dressage and the cross country. And what scope he's showing so far.
He just is giving every fence so much air. He's looking so full of running after the rigours of yesterday. And unless he does something really silly, I can't see him laying a toe on a fence today.
I think it's full credit to not only the riders, but also the very hard-working grooms and everybody behind the scenes, that these horses are looking so fit. Well, there goes his fence down. That's all he can have, and there's a long way to go.
He has, and I'm sure that now Shane is regrouping, rebalancing. He's got to forget that rail, and he's got to still keep this horse confident and careful and jumping.
Well, it gives that one a good rub as well. It must be nice to know that he goes into the show jumping. He's already going to win with Virgil, regardless or not, but it would be so nice to have a win with CP Qualified. Well, coming to this Channel 7 treble, and it's been a really influential line. Can he hold on? Well, rub the middle part, so he's just got the 1 left to go. If he has this down, Virgil will win. And inside the plants and over the last, nearly unshipped Shane, but what a pat for CP Qualified. Shane Rose, the winners of the Adelaide CCI 4-Star 2015. Very closely fought contest, right to the line. He could afford the 1 fence down and no more, and that's exactly what he did. While being congratulated by fellow riders Stuart Tinney, amongst others. And the leaderboard, it's a 1-2. Shane Rose with the Wisher family CP qualified 49.3. Shane again on Virgil, 50.8 in second, with New Zealander Clark Johnson, Balmoral sensation, in third, 54.1. 11 years since his last win with Beaufort Mistral, Shane Rose has really put himself on the map with not just one but two horses for this year's Olympic Games in Rio.
To run first and second in this field is certainly what I was hoping that I could do. For me, it's all those tentative plans that I put in place on where I'm going to go and how I'm going to try and get to Rio, I can actually hopefully act on and get there with everything firing and hopefully put ourselves in a position that we can win.
Yeah, I'm very happy with the effort. The horse jumped beautifully today. It's a lovely horse and he really showed his class yesterday and today. And Shane, like you say, was just a class act and the deserved winner, and I have to try and beat him next time.
Well, what an Adelaide 4-star it's been at the Australian International. Jill Rolton, event director, you couldn't have asked for more.
Oh, what a wonderful weekend. We had record crowds, fantastic weather, fabulous sport, and the boys doused in Tomich bubbles.
Well, we hope you've enjoyed the show as much as we have. Until next time, from myself, Spencer Sturmey, and Gillian Rolton, it's goodbye.